I'm here with,
Amber N. Ford.
okay, Amber and Ford. Tell me what you do.
I'm an artist and photographer based in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, because period. It is. All right. What's your wildest or most unexpected place you found inspiration?
Ooh, that's a great question.
It is.
Honestly, I don't necessarily know whether or not I would really classify most of my places of inspiration as wild or unexpected, but the first thing that I guess would come to mind was the inspiration that I took that blossomed my BFA kind of defense when I was in my last year at CIA, which was a conversation I had in Giant Eagle grocery store with a friend that I had graduated high school with, and I hadn't really seen him because he had went to another state for
Mhm.
college, and we hadn't really kept in touch too much. And I just remember him kind of talking about how the language that he used when he kind of came back and saw his friends
Mhm.
change to kind of like see you later bye to like be safe, and literally
Mhm.
like kind of like that little chunk of the conversation inspired than what I did for the next year. And I think for a couple of years and I guess several years after graduating, and how I kind of started to think about my art practice now.
Mm. All right. If you had to describe your art style using only three pop culture references, whether it's a song, movie, event, celebrities, etc., what would they be and tell me why?
Okay. I can like tell you what I vibe out to when I make work, which I don't know necessarily that correlates to the work itself.
We'll make it correlate on this show.
Okay. Right now, I'm very much obsessed with Dijon. I literally have the album Dijon's absolutely on repeat. First song on the album is Big Mike's.
Okay.
And I literally can listen to that song slash album multiple times a day.
Okay.
Um, Tyler the Creator, Chromacopia,
Okay. Yes.
especially the song I'm Killing You,
Mm.
which talks about hair,
Mm.
which is like I have a ongoing project about hair.
Yes,
Uh,
guys, I saw it. Check it out.
yeah, so I would say like that song and other songs I think that talk about hair, I feel kind of inspired by, and with my series, my ongoing series, Hairscape. And let's see if there's any other pop culture references or songs. I really like the duo Black. I think they're duo Black Pumas.
Mm.
If people are not hip, I think they're like a really groovy group that's like just really kind of like just get you in a really nice mood
And it's a
to
Black Puma.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah, just check them out. I feel like I can put on their record and I can really just kind of like it just kind of like get me in like a really nice
Mm.
either whether I'm in the studio or editing or anything like that, and it's
Mm.
just like gives you like this really just like nice vibe.
I like that because I like how you flipped it. These are three things that may not necessarily represent your style, but they inspire
Yeah.
your process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. If your art could speak for itself, what is the message it would say to the world? Yeah, good. That's a good
Ooh,
one.
what message would it say to the world? uh the message I think that it would say to the world is that art doesn't have to be big and or flashy to be important and impactful. I
Mm.
was recently having a conversation with someone where I feel like we're kind of moving into the age where I feel like a lot of artists, and honestly, I started to feel a little bit swept up into it, where it's like everyone kind of feels like everything always has to be very mixed medium and very interdisciplinary. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that isn't everyone's thing, right? And I think we're sometimes losing the masters of one medium, and it's like it's better to be the master of one than the master of none.
Yes.
And I think that people correlate big with good, and that is not always the case. Yeah. And more is more is more, and that forget that you can get very powerful messages across even if the first kind of glimpse of the artwork seems inherently simple. That doesn't mean that the work can't still be incredibly deep and powerful. And so I'm kind of like re-evaluating like what is my art style and aesthetic, and how I want to get my message across, and how do I actually really want to present myself and my art to the world, because I've always kind of really wanted to be that artist that is just like accessible. Like I don't necessarily come from an art family, and I always want my mother to be able to access my art. Yeah. Like I don't want her to come to my art show and be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You know, like, what I mean? Where am I at? Yeah, where am I at? And like, what am I looking at? Because a lot of times you go into in these spaces and you read the statements and you're looking at the work and you be like, I don't know what's going on.
Because art can be intimidating.
Yeah, it can be very intimidating, and that I don't want necessarily my art to be like that. Yeah. And so that's I think the kind of message, because I draw inspiration from my personal life and experiences, and then I try to find a way in order to create work that puts that in the larger context of like the larger conversation, of like, you know, other people of color or Black folks experience. Yeah. And put it in a way that sometimes I guess it's maybe more digestible, but like in a way where it's like I'm proposing in a way to create more questions, to prompt thought, and I guess in a way for me to like process like how am I like thinking about it, and it's like kind of like making my wheels turn.
And I think that's a lot coming from a national artist like yourself, a highly awarded and highly exhibited artist like yourself, because like I was saying, art can be intimidating and art can be exclusive. And to make art on such a level where, you know, I've seen your work in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I've seen your work in major museums, and I'm looking forward to seeing your work all over everywhere. I've seen you at the Cleveland Film Fest. You understand? Yes, I'm bragging. This is my friend. Shut up. So hearing that perspective from someone like yourself, who, you know, is held to high regard as a recent Cleveland Arts Prize winner, I appreciate that, you know, because it shows the softness and the strength in your work as well. And if you have not checked out the Amber N. Ford's work, you need to. It's going to pop up on the screen. And thank you so much for speaking with me and trusting me to ask you these questions and sharing parts of you that are not usually shared. So I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and love.